continue his directions well into Monday, so they'll get another weekend home with their families. So today, Justice Bill has continued to recap the past 8 weeks of evidence. He's been incredibly meticulous going through it all with a very fine-tooth comb, and now he'll continue to do that tomorrow and Monday as well.
South Australians will be able to legally ride e-scooters and personal mobility devices on the road from July 13th. But there are some rules. Only e-scooters will be allowed on 60km/h roads, but must use the bike lane and travel at no more than 25 k's an hour. Other devices like e-skateboards will be permitted on 50k roads, but must also travel at no more than 25 k's. The regulations were introduced today by the state government 6 years after the e-scooter trials began in the CBD. The Finance Minister says there is no need to lift defence spending to match our allies. NATO nations have agreed to Donald Trump's request to fork out 5% of their GDP on military needs. But Katie Gallagher says Australia will remain at 2.3%.
We've made, I think, a $57 billion commitment across the medium term, $11 billion across the forward estimates, and that'll bring us up to about 2.37, I think, by the time all of that funding goes through. We make these decisions based on advice to government, defence and others come to us, they say what capability they need.
SAPOL is asking motorists to be careful around the entertainment centre tonight. There'll be increased pedestrian and vehicle traffic as Katy Perry kicks off the local leg of her tour. Perry originally left SA off the itinerary, but the Premier stepped in when they crossed paths at the AFL Grand Final. She'll now play a total of 4 shows here. Now turning to 5AA's sport, Dan Curtin has re-signed with the Crows for another 3 years until the end of 2029. Adelaide will name its round 16 squad tonight ahead of Sunday's clash with Richmond at the MCG. Well, it's game day for Port. They play Carlton tonight at Adelaide Oval. Gates open at 5:30. The game starts at 7. Hawthorn captain James Sicily has undergone minor surgery for a hip injury. And the Matildas take on Slovenia tonight in the first of a 2-match series at home. Now checking 5AA traffic. And cloudy this afternoon, cloudy tomorrow, 16. Saturday, mostly sunny and 15. Sunday, a shower or 2, also 15. Right now, it's 14 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, why Donald Trump was called a daddy by the NATO chief at The Hague. The world-first lung cancer screening program targeting smokers. How doctors hope it'll save lives. New direct flights between Adelaide and Bali take off. And how to avoid getting stung at tax time amid a claim crackdown. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey.
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival. 5 after 4, good afternoon. It's Thursday night. It is game day at Adelaide Oval, which is where you'll find us as we count down to the opening bounce. Port Adelaide and Carlton in prime time. Sam Tugwell here welcoming Rowey and Timmy G. What an evening we have ahead of us.
Oh, thank you, Sammy. Inclement weather they're predicting, but yes, welcome to Adelaide Oval for this massive clash between Port Adelaide and Carlton. There's more hanging on this than just 4 points, more than I think pride or bouncing back. I think it's people's reputations. I think it's more their careers or their credibility on the line. And, you know, it's very rare that you get both clubs in a similar position as I welcome Timmy G to the show. How are you, mate?
Good, Rowey. I'm actually, I've bounced in. You know, when you come into a stadium like this and you see the picturesque oval, all the rest of it, you can't help but get fueled by it. And your adrenaline starts to run, doesn't it?
You do.
And you get up.
Because it's game day. It's Adelaide Oval. It's Thursday night. It's national stage. You're off a bad loss.
Yeah.
And you have the utmost faith, and we'll speak to Ken Hinkley a bit later, and we'll put it to him as well, the utmost faith that your team will bounce back.
Yeah, because that's what they do.
And that's what you have to do.
Like the promo.
Yeah.
Life's a box of chocolates. We're gonna get a good one tonight.
It's a great promo.
It is a backs against the wall kind of game, isn't it? And it's rare that there's a backs against the wall kind of game for both clubs. As I said in the opener, Carlton got their problems, Porter got theirs. Both seasons are flickering.
Well,
This is massive tonight, Timmy.
we'll have Fox Footy's Ben Dixon on after 4:30. I'm going to ask him that question. Everybody else has said, in the footy media world, that this basically whoever loses this game can't play finals. So that's probably where you're pitching it right now, and I understand.
Well, I
that.
think they're right.
It makes it incredibly
Incredibly
difficult.
hard.
I've already said I think Port need to win 7 out of 9.
Okay.
So I think get back to the, win the quarter, win the contest, that sort of mentality,
Yeah.
right? And
Get back to playing your way.
and then let everything else take its course. But I think in a holistic point of view, I understand that you lose tonight, that means you've got to win, almost every game. So it's a big ask, isn't it?
Look, it is a big ask. And Ken, as Port's coach, he's like a crocodile. He's bit down. He's not going to let go. He loves Port's fight. Have a listen.
As we always talk about, we'll always stay in the fight for as long as humanly possible, and we'll go. And you know what? Right to the end. Doesn't matter what happens, almost. You turn up in a professional industry and you turn up in professional sport. My expectation, our expectation is to perform at our absolute best every chance we get to play football representing Port Adelaide. And that's the way we'll approach now to whenever the end of the year is. We'll go hard to be the right Port Adelaide.
I mean, that's a pro. And you'd expect that. Do they believe that?
Yeah, that's more importantly, do the players, and it's one of the questions I've got for Ken, because I asked Sam Powell-Pepper, whose responsibility is it to make sure that you're ready to run out, up for the fight, and have that intensity?
But you know the answer
It's
to that.
players.
Of course it is.
And what I want to know is, how is he seeing the players address that themselves?
Yes, yeah, and has there been a change to this week? That's a good one. I've got other ones, but that's a good one. When have we got Ken on?
After 5.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that myself.
First question.
First question. Boom. 5:05.
There we
Ken,
go. Mitchell Starr.
got this. Ken loves the players' effort. Have a listen.
No, not really. I mean, that's probably not so much their job other than to help us and work through it. I mean, it's a combination of coaching and playing that has to happen well. They get disappointed in some of the inconsistencies as well. But what I could always say about my football club and my football players is that they turn up every week with the right attitude to try and make sure that that's not the case. And it doesn't always work out perfectly for them, but I love their effort.
Do you agree?
No, well, it can't be true, because last week is a great example of it not being true.
That's right.
And that's been the real issue, is the inconsistency.
So they're kidding themselves.
So when you say you turn up every week to make sure, well, they don't.
No.
And they've admitted that in games like that and Western Bulldogs and Collingwood that they haven't.
So what would he say that? There's your second question. Challenge him.
Well, it's the want, isn't it?
I reckon
You
the
want
want's
it to be
there.
that way. You want it to be that way.
But here's the tipping point for me, and we've all played. You can talk like that. You get to a point where you are where you are on the ladder. You're dishing up what you're dishing up. You've got a body of work that we've seen, and you finally admit to yourself, we're not good enough. He hasn't jumped that shark yet.
No.
He still believes you're a top 4 team.
Well,
and reality is you're not.
Well, at this moment in time.
And that's where I'm going to go with my questioning. You're not good enough, Ken.
And again, I go back to just winning contest into the quarter, into the game and the like. But you have to keep believing that you've got a game plan and you've got a squad that can do it. Otherwise, you're just throwing the towel in.
That's exactly
you can't do
right.
that.
Well, Cripps is crook. Mackay is out. Walsh is out. Curnow may as well be out. I think there's no chance. Here's Michael Voss on Cripper.
He was ill today, but expected to play, so he'll be right to go. He came in yesterday and he's not at training because he's feeling a bit off, so we obviously don't want him around the main group.
Was that yesterday?
Was.
Yes. Yeah, right.
So he's better today.
My understanding is
he's fine.
He's fine.
He's had his spaghetti bolognese.
He got it.
He's woken up, blowing his nose, got the Vicks on his chest.
Yeah.
Probably had some Limsic.
Limsip, yep.
Whatever that is.
Limsip, it's good stuff.
My nana used to give me brandy, hot water, squeeze a lemon, and a little bit of
hot toddy. That's what that's.
Is that what it's called?
Hot toddy.
That's an old wives' tale. It works.
It does. And
I've woken up with a little bit of a scratchy voice. I could be out Sunday. You know what I'm like. Soldier down.
Get 5 of those in you.
5.
You'll be right.
Not 1, 5. 82223.
You want to get better or not?
0000 is the sport line number. We have a bottle of Rusden Black Guts. Lines available. Get to it. What do you think, or who do you think is going to turn up today?
No,
I've got one. I'm giving one. I don't care.
No, you can't do that.
Well, what are we giving away then?
We don't have anything to promise in that regard.
right,
$50 Powers voucher, that'll get you a nice Rusden
That'll do.
Powers.
That'll do.
That'll do.
I had a bottle just sitting on my desk. I was happy to do it because it is a Friday. It is basically...
Friday feels on a Thursday.
Friday feels on a Thursday. That's it.
Yeah.
Crows are off the bye. We know that, off a 3-point loss. It was in tough conditions. They've all gone away and done what they've got to do to come back. Going to be a few changes is what I'm sniffing.
Oh.
Or maybe just one.
Okay.
Here's their coach, Matty Nix.
I don't think he'll play this weekend. We've still got to train, but I don't think he'll play in the AFL this weekend. We're going to be really cautious there and give him enough time to get his balance back, to get his game, his touch, make sure that we're ready, that he's ready.
Well, he's talking about Nick Murray. So they're going to give him one more week. And I think that's a good call. Yeah. Very important. And you know what? They'd be sitting there. Who are we playing? Richmond. Oh,
get it right.
Get it right.
Get that right and get him right.
Yep. The other one is Luke Pedler may be in doubt with that corky, which means Peatling's in. I think Brodie Smith will come into the 22.
When did he get that corky?
I don't know.
Yeah, because
I have no idea about it.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it'd be a 2-week corky,
nah,
would you?
You can't have 2 weeks. Well, you can't have 2-week corkies, can you? Is there such a thing? Is there such a thing as a 2-week corky?
Not to stop you playing.
You went off air there. Yeah. Something happened to
plug your
Timmy.
mic back
Can
in,
you
Tim?
plug him back in? So Peatling in, Brodie Smith probably as a into the 22, and I think that makes Murphy the sub. The great news, this is great news, a 3-year deal to 197 centimetre pick 8 Dan Curtin. Here's Matty Nix.
A pleasant surprise that Dan's invested and that he wants to be here for longer. I know there was a really good reaction this morning from the playing group when we announced it to them, and probably an even better one from his coach when he announced it to me. So, yeah, really pleased. He's obviously still got a long way and a lot to work on, and hopefully it's a long career ahead of him.
The kid's coming on. 197 centimetres. He's had a couple of ripping quarters, ripping moments and ripping games on that wing. I don't think that's where he'll settle down, but you got to earn your stripes.
Yeah,
you're still an apprentice. It's his 2nd year of AFL.
Well, the same token, I think supporters have to be patient as well.
Of course we do.
You already said how tall he is, and if he was
takes time.
If he was a key position player, we'd be saying, "Hey, give him a couple of years."
Yep.
Give him a couple of years. So he's the same. He's just more mobile than a normal tall forward.
Crows, have your say. 822 300 00. We're at Adelaide Oval. Bit inclement. I don't think it's going to rain. No breeze, which will be absolutely superb.
It is honestly excellent conditions because the dew, because of the cloud cover, there's hardly any dew. There's hardly any breeze. I think it's actually ideal for football and to watch.
First to 100 wins.
Yeah,
rug up. It's going to be cold.
Oh, yeah, but
now,
no breeze.
We all did this. We're on a WhatsApp. I say this all the time. All of us, we just jointly do things. And I got a photo through of Green walking off out for 3. I think that might have been from Timmy. But anyway, Australia are playing West Indies over in the West Indies. We're all out for 180. Our man Travis Head top scored with 59.
Yep.
Constas opened the batting. So he's the number 2. Yep. Because Uzi's won. Our number 2 batsman got 3. Our number 3 batsman got 3. That's Green, your mate. And our number 4 batsman, Inglis, got 5. That's 11 runs for our top 3 batsmen. I spoke to you how worried I was with that. Here's Travis Head.
Challenging day. Yeah, different wicket probably than what both teams expected. I think both teams were going to bat, so both teams probably felt like it looked a really nice wicket and it may spin later in the game, but yeah, 2 good quality seam attacks and I've got something out of it, so it's been challenging.
4 for 57 in reply, the West Indies.
Well, it is actually 14 wickets in a day yet again. In the World Test Championship, there was 2 days of 14 wickets falling. It says a lot about our top order, which is not in good order.
No.
Let me tell you that.
No.
We've got to get people...
We've got an Ashes series coming up.
And that's what I'm concerned about. Yeah. England just made a record on the last day to beat India.
That.
Now, that really concerns me. They got people in form, though, in their top order. So I'm concerned that we have got we're playing makeshift stuff with our top order. And people, did you see the shot Josh Inglis played as a number 4 batsman? Outside of off, trying to pull it into cow corner. Please.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Not happy,
He's
Janet.
a T20 batsman.
It's just, we got to get back to guys who can graft out innings in Test cricket and have made a bucket full of runs at Shield level.
Yep. Now, this is billed as a backs-to-the-wall kind of game. Carlton have got their backs to the wall for different reasons to Port, who have their backs to the wall for different reasons to Carlton. So on the back of that back-to-back backs to the wall, 82230000, what's your best backs to the wall, come from behind, grinding out?
Stephen Bradbury.
No.
I want to get that out straight away.
If somebody
just stop
rings,
that happening.
I will get an Uber to your house and I have a set of skills. So it's a back-to-the-wall type of thing. Now, the first one immediately when this topic came up, I went back to 1993, Robran down, Maynard down, Visca down, and we beat Sydney in Sydney for one of the first times. Have a listen.
Maynard looks as if he's going off already. AC joint probably. Wide AC joint. There is poor Rodney Maynard in the hands of the trainers.
Up towards Robran. Big stretch. Great mark. Held onto it. Hurt himself.
He's done him.
Oh, he's in trouble. Have a look at him. Oh, poor Matthew Robran.
Now, you only had 2 on the bench back then, and you would have played in games, and it could be any game, any level. What's your backs-to-the-wall type of win, where you're against adversity, and you just had to pull something out of your clacker to win the game. And we did that day. Oh, God, it was just one of those great things.
They feel
Visca,
great, don't they?
They do, and they're one of the good wins. And you never forget it. So Visca goes to full forward, can't run. His leg was snapped in half, took a mark, and, you know, you go from there. Now, have you got one?
I have, but it's not one... It's not one that you would expect because it's probably the greatest comeback in Test cricket that I've seen.
Any sport, any level.
And unfortunately, Australia were the victim.
I reckon I know which one you'll
remember the story.
Oh,
Rod
who's
Marsh
that batsman?
And Dennis K. Lilly got odds of 500 to 1, you may remember.
Oh, no,
at
they
Headingley,
did. Yep.
They put £10 on each, and Ian Botham came into bat when they were going to lose by an innings. He comes into bat, makes an unbelievable 100, smashes them all over the park, gives the Aussies about 150 to make it. Bob Willis wipes us out with 8 wickets. Have a listen.
Bowl him. It's all over. And it is one of the most fantastic victories ever known in Test cricket history. England have won this match after one of the most astonishing fightbacks you can ever see.
Now,
I miss Richie.
If it's good enough for Richie, it's good enough for me.
I miss
one of the
Richie.
greatest comebacks you'll ever see, says Richie.
Ever see. Backs to the wall wins on the back of this game tonight. One of these teams with their back against the wall will win. Get to it, 82230000.
Already got one on the unique homestyle food text. Yardapulti versus Hawthorn last year. 35 seconds and 11 points down. A win in the goal square. Darcy Burn-Jones. That is one of the good ones.
Great call.
And Timmy went mad. Ken Hinkley's going to join us live from 5 o'clock tonight as we build up to Thursday night footy. Carlton assistant Ash Hansen will chat to us, and Ben Dixon from Fox Footy. And the Crows team selection drops tonight at 5:50, so hang around for that. Nathan Van Berlo will chat with us as soon as the teams are out. $50 Powers voucher up for grabs for our best caller, 8223 0000.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
See movies how they should be seen. Hear movies how they should be heard. All on the big screen with Quake Sound at Wallace. And now you can see them for less and enjoy candy bar discounts and other special member offers and freebies. Simply become a My Wallace member today. It's free, it's easy, and it's full of benefits. Go to wallace.com.au and click on Join My Wallace today. Wallace Mitcham, Mount Barker, Noarlunga and the Piccadilly. South Australia's home of big screen magic and entertainment.
Come and celebrate the grand opening of Flagstaff Hill Golf Club on Saturday, June 28th. The fun kicks off from 12 noon to 4 p.m. with virtual golf, mini golf, and plenty of kids' entertainment to keep the little ones smiling. Relax and enjoy great food and drinks in The Club, our brand new restaurant and alfresco area. Flagstaff Hill Golf Club grand opening, Saturday, June 28th from 12 noon to 4 p.m. For more information, visit fhgc.com.au.
The BMW Expo sales event is ending soon. Don't miss your chance to enjoy savings equal to the GST on new BMW vehicles. Visit your participating BMW dealer today. bmw.com.au.
Just minutes from Adelaide Oval, Empire Bar and Pool is the perfect pit stop before or after the football. It's a great joint. You've got to go there with your mates, and you could be in high spirits post a win, or maybe looking to blow off some steam after a close loss. But look, Empire's central spot makes it an easy detour for footy fans heading into or after the game.
It's brilliant. Empire Bar and Pool boasts 12 pub-sized 8-ball tables, 16 American 9-ball beasts, 2 elite Chinese snooker tables. They've got private areas for hire, catering options, and booth seating that turns casual catch-ups into something, well, a little bit more legendary.
It is a legendary place. Empire Bar and Pool, its basement, 2 Gresham Street, City, open 7 days a week.
Hi, I'm Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. This year, we're proud to be celebrating 40 years of doing real estate differently in South Australia. Since 1985, we've remained family-owned and fiercely independent, with innovation, integrity and people always at the heart of what we do. While the industry's changed, our values haven't, and we're incredibly grateful to our clients and community for their trust and support. Visit toop.com.au. Toop and Toop. 40 years of family, innovation and integrity.
Harvey Norman clearance ends Monday. Stores open until 9 tonight. Shop TVs, fridges, laptops, mobiles, furniture, bedding and more. Save up to 30% off Windows 11 computers. All the big brands on sale. Save $500 on Dreamy L40S Ultra Robot Vac and Mop, now $1,497. Australian-made King Coil Conformer Element Queen Mattress, just $849. And save $160 on the Everdure Kiln Gas Pizza Oven, now just $798. Harvey Norman clearance ends Monday. Stores open until 9 tonight. Trading hours may vary.
Hey, I'm Elsie.
Hi, Elsie. Go on, Elsie. What happened?
So I got a ride and I had my headphones in. Then my rating got bumped down to a 4.2.
Oh, it's just a personal attack.
Hey, everyone. I'm Sarge.
Hey, Sarge.
Trying to get home last night. It was tipping down and my ride jumped up by $50.
Oh, typical. Hi, I'm Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
Go on, Lucy. It's okay.
My driver ghosted me.
Me too.
There's a better way to roll. Book 1-3 cabs.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the FIVEAA Sports Show.
We haven't had the most consistent season that we would expect at the start of the year, and we continue to fight with the challenges. We're no different to Carlton, and I'm sure they're trying to focus themselves on to getting on a run like we're trying to do. So it's a damn tough competition. You don't get to do it perfectly all the time.
Port Adelaide and Carlton in prime time. We are live at Adelaide Oval tonight ahead of Thursday night football, 8223 0000. We are asking tonight, what is that great backs against the wall win that you'll never forget? We'll get your calls on the air for a $50 Powers voucher. But right now, let's check your traffic, all thanks to Rossdale Homes.
Score a deal at BWS. Get a 10-pack of Jack Daniels Double Jack and Cola cans for $65. Save 10. Hurry, offer ends Sunday. T's and C's apply. Choose to drink wise. Darlington, a breakdown on the Southern Expressway to the Marion Road on-ramp. Really big delays outbound through there. Kerry Gully, another breakdown on the freeway near Old Kerry Gully Road and North Adelaide. Road closures in place around the Adelaide Oval till around 11:30 tonight for the Power Carlton game. Carrot 2, Cavan Road, Dry Creek. Hit the road in a new MG with end of financial year deals on a selected range of vehicles. Go to mgmotor.com.au. Ends June 30. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now, rug up. It won't be windy. There's not a zephyr of wind here at Adelaide Oval. It won't be dewy. There's cloud cover, obviously. There's no chance of rain. Well, that's what they've told us. This is one of those picture-perfect Adelaide Oval winter nights, Timmy. Thursday night.
Perfect.
Thursday night footy at its best. Hello, Michael, at Sellex Beach.
G'day, Rowey and Timmy. It's Michael, yeah.
Mick.
I'm a Crow supporter, and you were probably here. You were probably playing that day, but the one I remember is 1993 against Essendon when we were 8 goals up at three-quarter time. Do you remember that one?
42 points. Michael, I was emergency. They picked Whitney over me. I was spewing ever since and got on a plane to fly back home at half-time thinking we're in a grand final. Yeah, I'll never forget that. Yeah, that was it wasn't a backs against the wall win. It was just a good comeback. I reckon Michael got the topic wrong.
Let's go.
Well, that wasn't a back against the... Well, it was, I guess.
Yeah, it was, absolutely.
But
You think the game's over at half-time.
There's adversity. You have no chance of winning.
Yeah.
I've just said Kerno out, Mackay. There's no chance Carlton can win. If they win, that's a backs against the wall win.
You go, let's go to Bondi. Tony, got one?
Boys, got a great one. Leighton Hewitt down 2 sets to love in Brazil on clay against Gustavo Kuerten, who hadn't lost on clay for 2.5 years. Take that.
Was that a Davis Cup tie?
Totally.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
Oh,
Great
that's a ripper, Tony. Now that
nice one, Tone.
Is a backs against the wall kind of win. Hello, Dougie boy.
Yeah, good day, guys. I'm not calling about your phone topic. I've just called up before I heard you announce the phone topic. I was just watching the front bar last night, and I've seen Nick Rewald on there, and it got me thinking a great phone topic for you to do one day would be the team of the century for players who have never won a premiership. Like, think of some of the superstars. And unfortunately, unless Port Adelaide could produce a miracle, Travis Boak might fall into that team as well, because he's one of the best players to win the premiership.
I think you're onto something.
Yep. We might do that tomorrow. There you are. And we'll give you royalties for that for a bottle of Rusden Black Guts.
Yeah, well done,
God,
Doug.
straight off the bat, Mods comes to mind because he missed those flags because he was injured.
I got a name for you. T. Lockett.
Tony Lockett.
Tony Lockett. Played in one grand final,
Well,
but hasn't won one.
He's the full forward of the grand final team that he never played in.
There you
Tony Lockett.
Yeah. Think of that. Unreal,
not
eh?
fair.
Let's go and talk to Paul in Canberra. G'day, Paul.
No, I think we've got Trev at Seaford.
Oh, have we? Sorry,
Trev.
G'day. Carlton, Collingwood, 1970. Nothing will knock that off.
Hey, Trevor, have you watched the documentary on it? Go to KO. If you got KO, they've got a documentary on that grand final. It is amazing to watch.
Yeah, that is. And that mark of the... Hello?
Century. Yeah, the mark of the century.
Jezelenko, you little beauty.
That's in the game.
That's right.
Famous game, that one.
That girl... Oh, you just dropped out, Trev. Is that the same game where the girl did the striptease?
No, nowhere near it.
Wasn't it?
No, it was about a decade
The girl
apart.
that ran out with her scarf around her neck.
1982 or something.
Was it? Okay.
Now we're going to Paul at Canberra. G'day, Paul.
Hello, Paul.
G'day, boys. Hey, look, I've got one that makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up every time I come across it. 1996 Atlanta Olympics. I think they called it a triumph against the odds. Kieran Perkins, marred by illness. He was sick leading up to it. He was injured.
Correct.
Everybody was doubting him. He scraped into the final, I think, in about lane 8 from memory.
Lane 8. Lane 8. Yep.
And one just was unbelievable. I still go back and watch it from time to time. I think he was the first Australian since Dawn Fraser to successfully defend an Olympic title. So, yeah, amazing backs to the wall performance.
Paul, that is a backs to the wall. No one gave him a snowball's hope in hell of winning that. Rode him off, no chance, you're out of here, get on your bike, and he swum under 15 minutes too, I reckon.
In lane 8.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? 8223 0000. You want to chuck yours in for a $50 Powers voucher? Call us. We will take more of your calls in the next half hour. It's 4:30 headlines time, and Ben Dixon from Fox Footy to talk Thursday night footy next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon. Mel Usher with the 5AA News headlines. A police officer has been arrested and charged by SAPOL's anti-corruption section. Another international airline is flying direct into Adelaide, the inaugural Indonesia AirAsia flight from Bali arriving today. A former student is being accused of running a sustained cyber attack campaign against a university in Sydney. And in sport, Crows coach Matthew Nicks is pleased Dan Curtin has re-signed for another 3 years. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
At Darlington, delays clearing from that earlier breakdown on the Southern Expressway near the Marion Road on-ramp. North Adelaide Road closures in place around the Adelaide Oval till around 11 tonight for the footy. And Kerry Gully breakdown on the freeway near Old Kerry Gully Road. Busy South Road, Edwardstown with a camera, Airport Road at Brooklyn Park. Hitting the road, grab a barista-made coffee or something on the go while you fuel up at Shell OTR and pay it in full with Afterpay. T's and C's apply. Australian credit licence 527911. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, cloudy tonight down to 8, partly cloudy tomorrow 15. Right now it's 13 degrees. We'll have more news at 5 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
500 doctors have now threatened a full-day strike. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Bernadette Mulholland, good morning to you. I don't want to sound rude, Bernadette, but you guys are kidding yourselves 30%.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
We've had increased cost of living and increased inflation.
The sob story that you're running, I don't think our listeners are buying it.
5AA Breakfast.
I really hope that you think long and hard about the impact that your July 30 strike action could have on patient care.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Plant the seed of your legacy. Centennial Park's new Living Legacy Forever flowers offers a heartfelt and sustainable way to commemorate your loved one. For the first time in South Australia, Living Legacy's groundbreaking science allows your loved one's ashes to positively impact the environment, creating a beautiful, lasting tribute where friends and family can gather and reflect whilst contributing to the beautiful botanical environment. To learn more about Living Legacy Forever flowers, visit centennialpark.org.
Finding the perfect Volkswagen is easy at Mawson Lakes Volkswagen. Even easier during their end of financial year sale. Choose from a massive range of new and demo Volkswagens available for delivery right now. Loads of colours, loads of options. On-site finance and next day servicing. How easy is that? Too easy. Get a great drive-away deal during the end of financial year clearance. Ends June 30. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
Nobody knows paint like Crow's been telling you that for years. They've just got the best team. They're locals. They know how to paint. They know, well, you give them a question, they'll have an answer. Don't worry about that. Doesn't matter what you're painting or staining, they'll be able to help you. Are you painting a skyscraper, a chair, a door? Is it metal, tile, steel, timber? Do you have to undercoat it? What sort of drop sheets do you need? How do you have to prepare it? Do you have to sand it? Do you have to dust it off? Do you have to wear a spray jacket? I mean, if, and at the end of it, you go, well, bang, I've got it all.
Drove past Crowey's the other day when I was up at Blackwood.
Timmy, don't worry about
Another
that.
location.
Remember, yeah, I did. I went past it as well.
I said, g'day, Crowey's.
There you go. Crowey's only sell the best quality paint. Visit croweyspaints.com.au for a store near you.
You wake up and you're feeling a bit off. Your nose is runny, but maybe it's just a cold. That scratchy throat, though, that could be something worse.
Test for COVID, Flu A, Flu B and RSV in just minutes with Cell Life, the premium 4-in-1 rapid antigen test. Fast, reliable results. Make the smart choice for your health and your family. Insist on the brand the healthcare professionals prefer. Cell Life at leading chemists and Amazon. CELLIFE.
At Coles, stock up on snacks with great half-price specials on Aussie classics. Like half-price Arnott-shaped crackers, 130 to 190 grams, now just $2. Shop in-store or online at Coles. Offer ends Tuesday.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
25 to 5 live at Adelaide Oval. Ken Hinkley to join us at 5 o'clock as we lead into the Port Adelaide and Carlton Thursday night clash. It's going to be a big one. We're taking your calls, 8223 0000. Those backs against the wall wins. Tell us about them. You could win a $50 Powers voucher. And very shortly, Ben Dixon from Fox Footy. Every game is live with no ad breaks during play on KO Sports.
Keep your unique homestyle food texts flying in. Pat from Lockleys wants us to ask Kenny, Bergman recently joined the leadership group. Is that a good sign for Port supporters? We'll ask that for you, Pat. No problems at all. And Adam says, my wife's one-eyed Carlton supporter. For the first time, she's knocked back her ticket to watch Carlton Port tonight. She thinks Port will win by 12 goals. Whoa! We'll see what happens. We'll ask this fella what he thinks. Fox Footy's Ben Dixon. G'day, Ben.
Benny.
G'day, boys. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. Tonight's game, I'm just wondering, is that the definition of unpredictable?
Yeah.
no doubt about that. It's not only unpredictable. I'm actually quite excited about tonight. To be fair, I think Port Adelaide's fielded their best team for the year. Carlton have swung the act. They're both made 4 changes all unmuted. So it's incredible. Like this time of year, you're making 4 omissions and bringing in your best team for Port, which is huge. And then Carlton have brought in 2 debutants and what looks to be guys that can use the ball, because the previous guys and the way they've used the ball, Carlton has been no good. But this sets up, honestly, incredible. And we know Vossi has spent so much time at Port Adelaide, so he knows what he's up against over in Adelaide. And this is, honestly, I get quite excited about these Thursday night games.
Benny, I call them popcorn games because the result is irrelevant to you, but what happens with the winner and the loser is just poles apart, isn't it?
Oh, it's incredible. Like, when you look at both sides in the scenario, like Port Adelaide right now, we know Ken's leaving the end of the year, Curry takes over. Like, that's a given. So, anything going forward is a bonus, win-wise for Port Adelaide. But from Carlton's perspective, sorry I'm laughing, but they have been flooded in the media here in Melbourne for every day, paper or print, everything possible. It's massive. It is a massive, massive game. And make no mistake, all the pressure's on Carlton. There's none on Port Adelaide right now in anyone's book in the AFL. So, yeah, it's popcorn game. I like that. I don't mind it. Salted, coloured popcorn, whatever you want to do. But it's going to be an absolute beauty.
Port Adelaide have gone with 2 rucks the last couple of weeks. Don't think it probably came off against Grundy. He was way too good. But I like the persistence with it. I think the 2 tools, though, to warrant it, they have to be able to hit the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, they dropped Pitnet. I thought Pitnet was very good last week, got subbed out for some reason. But Sherry completely dominated TDK. And I thought they brought Pitnet in as the Kevlar, the bulletproof vest, just to stand in between to try and shield him and protect him. But they couldn't because he got completely manhandled, TDK. And I'm thinking right now, Port Adelaide bringing 2 ruckmen in. What a great strategy. Well done, Ken Hinkley. 2 ruck strategy against Carlton, who now only really have 1 ruck, is just, it's a master. Let's be honest. Like, give Ken credit where credit's due. He has stood the test of time, his team up for a long time, but he's sitting back going, I'm just going to fire a shot here over the bow. And like Mike Tyson said, if you got a game plan coming in, good luck until you get punched in the face. So it looks like Ken's selected to just punch Michael Voss straight in the face.
Yeah, it's a good analogy. Fox Footy and former Hawk star Ben Dixon, our guest. Right now, you got to earn the big bucks now. Tell us who wins and why. Don't sit on the fence and get some splinters up your clacker. Who wins?
Hey, I'll tell you, boys, I'm not a letterbox. I don't sit on the fence. I will never sit on the fence. Anyone that gets on your
that's good.
Anyone that gets on your show in the letterbox, you got to just mail them to the wall. That's what you got to do. I genuinely think Port Adelaide win.
Yeah.
You can break Carlton down any which way. Going inside 50, they're the worst team in the competition. Like, they just can't. And I think Port Adelaide have fielded their strongest side for the year. I'm a big believer in Port, always have been. I know it's a very hostile environment over there in Adelaide, but I do, to be honest, when I get my schedule for Fox Footy and they go, you're going to Adelaide Oval, I love it. I just love the people in Adelaide. I love how passionate. I think they're more passionate, to be fair, than Melbourne supporters here in Melbourne when we get games of footy. So that's why, the gather round and all that. Sorry, I'm getting a bit sidetracked here, but I just love Adelaide and Adelaide people and the way they love their footy. I think Port Adelaide win. I think they've fielded their strongest side to counteract anything Carlton throw at them. And based on that, Kenny's landed the first blow. So I think it's one to the jaw, one to the ribs, one to the gut, and then it might be lights out Carlton at half time. So I think it's going to be a healthy margin too, boys, to be fair. I think once Port, which they can very much do, get on a roll and get the momentum, I think we've seen in recent times the second halves of Carlton have been ordinary this year. So quite excited about what Port Adelaide will land early and then, not take the foot off the throat, so to speak.
They're saying that whoever loses tonight's got no chance of making the 8. When you look at the 8, there's, Gold Coast just fallen out now into 9th. They look like the 9 teams that might compete for the 8. Can anybody perhaps get on a run and a roll? Do you think that's going to be where it lands?
Do you know what? I'm shattered. I'm on radio talking about this because I love Damien Hardwick. And I work with Damien at Hawthorn. I feel Gold Coast are going to miss. I just look at it and go, Bulldogs strong. GWS have beaten so many teams in the 8. They've been a little bit inconsistent. But once they dial that up 20%, they're a top 8 team. Fremantle have proven they're going to be amongst it. Hawthorn, Adelaide, sorry to say over there, boys, but, they're the real deal this year. Geelong, Brisbane, Collingwood. So I feel the 8's pretty much locked right now. I know Damien Hardwick will probably text me on the side and go, I'll give you another finger. That's a $2,000 fine, Dicko, for saying that we're not going to miss the we're going to miss the 8. But it's it's a tough call. But I just think got a strong side. But yeah, I can't see them jumping in ahead of what I just mentioned in terms of where the 8 sits right now with the Bulldogs, Giants, and Fremantle, who are probably in that little run there. So. They're going to be the 7-11 team this year. They're going to be the Slurpee, as I call them. They're going to finish between 7-11 and believe it or not, it's going to be 9, 10, 11. So dollar Slurpees all round. Yeah.
Oh, Betty boy, that's a
brilliant
good one.
stuff, mate. Really appreciate your time. Good luck with Fox Footy tonight.
Thanks, boys.
That's Ben Dixon. Every game is live with no ad breaks during play on KO Sports. The guys are just lining up next to us, actually, Fox Footy. So a few of the boys in there, Kingy by the looks of it, and Roo and Howie, all the rest of it, they will be a part of that coverage with Ben Dixon. And he's saying that Port Adelaide win tonight handsomely and that the Gold Coast missed the 8 and the 8 remains as it is.
And I can see Damo Hardwick just flipped him the bird.
Yeah.
Backs to the wall wins. Let's go to Brett at Hillbank. Got one?
Yeah, I have, boys. I have. I've got the 99 Test match versus Australia versus Pakistan down at Bell Reeve Oval. I think we were 5 for 126, chasing 369 when Gilly come to the crease. And Gilly and Langer put on. Well, I think Langer got out with 5 runs to spare, and we won the game. I think that was the best back to the wall. I mean, against Shoaib Akhtar, Wazir Akram, and Waqar Yunus, pretty good bowling attack, and throw in another one, Claim. Yeah, that's the one for me, fellas.
That's a great one.
That was
back against the wall win.
Again, love my Test cricket, but I watched that whole innings, that whole day. Just could not. I was glued to it. Absolutely glued to it. What an incredible comeback that was.
How good was Gilly? He come to the crease. We're in all sorts.
Thanks,
the next
Brett.
minute
That's
with 300. Nah, that's a ripper. Put that in the running for the $50 Powers voucher. Let's go to Clapham. Johnny.
G'day, fellas. How are you?
Good.
G'day. How are you?
Yeah, Johnny, we're good.
Yes. Mine would be not just the one match, but the 1976 final series by Sturt after getting belted in the last 2 minor round games against Port and Glenelg being written off. They lost against Glenelg in the first final. They were dead and buried against Norwood with no interchange left, and they came back to win. They beat the Bays in the prelim. They were all very hard matches. And then in the grand final, they were told they were too old, too slow, and simply not good enough. And they belted Port by 41 points. And Rick Davies had a picnic.
John, great memory.
John, we were talking about making documentaries. You just framed one up beautifully there.
How good was that? That was an incredible series.
I knew they lost that first final and went back through the first semi.
Yeah,
but I didn't know they lost their last 2 minor round games. So, John, you've just painted an amazing picture there. Thank you very much, and a painful memory for me. So that's very good of you.
Keep the calls coming in. We're live at Adelaide Oval. No breeze. There's cloud cover, obviously. Please rug up. This will be a cracking game. I can see two teams with everything to lose, as all games are, and 4 points to win, but your credibility, and it's just going to be a belter of a game. No one can pick either way. Carlton are going to come out. They're proud. They've got pride. Port, do you agree with Ben Dixon, their best team for the year?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
So who are you missing?
Yeah. Look, who am I thinking of who could come back in? I think Lukosius in that forward line would be...
Well,
if you had the choice of a Marshall or a Lukosius in amongst Georgiades and a Tall...
You'd have that 100%, yeah.
That's what I think I was looking forward to seeing early year, and of course we did.
So I think Ben said it's your best team for the year, but it's not your best team.
That's possible.
Because you've got those two out. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
That's probably where it's at, so...
Should be a big crowd for Thursday night. Gates open at 5:30. We're taking your calls for that $50 pounds voucher. Backs against the wall victories, 8223 0000. Let's check your traffic.
Delays clearing from that earlier breakdown at Darlington on the Southern Expressway near the Marion Road on-ramp. North Adelaide Road closures in place around the Adelaide Oval till around 11 tonight for the footy between Power and Carlton, and Kerry Gully breakdown on the freeway near Old Kerry Gully Road. Slow going at the moment. The parade at Norwood quite busy. Decatterville Terrace at the Britannia Roundabout with the camera at Lockside Drive at West Lakes. The Good Guys has a huge range of epic deals for end of financial year on now. Check online for extended hours. Epic deals only at The Good Guys. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Hi, Brett here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. With all the end of financial year deals we've got going, you really should be here too. All makes, models and colours are being cleared, no exceptions. And there's a huge range of low-K demos, all ready for immediate delivery. Plus, you'll get free on-roads, free stamp duty, free 12-month rego, and $500 worth of accessories. No gimmicks, just great deals. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, T's and C's apply.
Hello. For professional tilers, the all-new Tileworks by National Tiles is life-changing. Tileworks tilers make up to $50,000 per year or more than other tilers. That's give or take an extra $1,000 per week. Yes, Tileworks for professional tilers is life-changing. You get free premium adhesive and grout, free delivery, plus substantial monthly cash rebates. So if you're a professional tiler, find out more about Tileworks and rush to join now at nationaltiles.com.au. Conditions apply.
Toolkit Depot's 48-hour store-wide frenzy is happening this Friday and Saturday, and it's your last chance to save big before tax time.
Yeah, look, for 48 hours only, get 10% off almost everything store-wide. Yep, that's 10% off gear you know and trust, including top tool brands like Milwaukee, Makita, DeWalt, Bosch, King Chrome, Sigweld and loads more.
So whether you're replacing old favourites or just stocking up before the end of financial year, now is the time to get it done and save big while you're doing it.
Look, you've only got 2 days, this Friday and Saturday, to make the most of 10% off almost everything. Now, shop in store or online only at Toolkit Depot. Don't miss it.
Some exclusions apply. See full T&Cs at toolkitdepot.com.au.
At Simplicity Funerals, we have been keeping funerals simple and easy for over 40 years. Visit simplicityfunerals.com.au or call us 24/7 to get started today. Simplicity Funerals. Easy, respectful, simple.
Some people wake to an alarm, others to the sound of birds chirping. The lucky ones, they wake to this. Because they chose Flagstaff Hill Retirement Village by Living Choice, where luxury living meets premium resort-style activities and amenities, including a heated indoor magnesium pool, fully equipped gym, wellness centre, surround sound cinema, and the bonus of living next door to the Flagstaff Hill Golf Club. When it comes to retirement, make your choice livingchoice.com.au.
South Australia brings you the simple pleasure of a long, long lunch. Welcome to the land of the long lunch, the home of the share plate, where one is encouraged to graze the day away and absolutely always have a look at the dessert menu. South Australia, celebrate the simple pleasures.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Physically, it gave us a chance to freshen up. You know, we were 14 games straight. Our guys work hard, they train hard through pre-season, but there's a point around about that sort of 13, 14, 15 mark where it starts to become quite draining week to week. So from a physical point of view, our guys got a really good break.
9 minutes to 5, so the Crows team selection will drop in exactly an hour's time, and we'll speak to Crows assistant coach Nathan Van Berlo on the show. And Ken Hinkley for Port Adelaide supporters ahead of tonight's game against the Blues will join us live from 5 o'clock.
Here we go. We're going to take your calls. We've just been asking the question, what's your backs-to-the-wall win? Now, we got Mark at Heathball. Mark, you got an interesting one for us.
Yes, Rowey and Timmy G, the 1979 Phillips Cup final at Olympic Sport Field, Adelaide City versus St George. We are down 2-0 at half-time. I cannot remember who got the 3 goals for us. We won the game 3-2. The coach was the great man himself, Raleigh Rassic, and one of his mates, John Waters, the actor, was over here on a performance. He invited him to the sports field, and he actually presented the cup to whoever was the winning captain.
Wow. Now, I'm looked that up. That's the NSL Cup 1979. 10,000 fans rocked up too to watch it, Mark. So it was well supported there. And it was the first piece of silverware in the national competition that Adelaide City won. So well done. Good comeback there, Mark. Beauty.
Great one. Hello, Frank.
G'day, boys. How you going? Australia 2 in the America's Cup. 3-1 down. First out of 7.
Yeah. That's backs to the wall.
Oh, backs to the wall, and what a victory. And they tried everything to undermine us, cheat us. They grabbed it, they put it up on the hoist and said there's got to be something wrong. They tried their best. The rules were you weren't allowed to tamper with your boat during the finals, right? They changed those rules so they could muck around with theirs, trying to adjust theirs to beat us. Everything they tried, it just spooked them. I don't even think that the wing kill probably did anything. It just spooked them. Simple as that.
It's a bit like when the doctor gave me a red Smartie and said, mate, this will make you play well.
Placebo.
Don't bite it, Rowey.
It was the placebo.
Do not bite down on that. Just swallow it. It was a red Smartie.
Yeah, because it would have tasted good. Let's go to Morphevale. G'day, Ken.
Yeah. G'day, boys. Yeah, I remember that America's Cup one. That was great stuff. But mine's not cricket or footy. I go back to 1956. A lot of your listeners wouldn't have even been born. But the greatest comeback after being written off was the 1956 Olympics when John Landy stopped to help Ron Clark after he'd fallen. And he got up, chased after the rest of the field and went on and won the gold medal.
A bigger gentleman you will never see, Ken. I reckon he was the epitome of sportsmanship. Yeah. And to do that and then to run past everybody and win, just a freak.
Ken, is he still with us? No.
Not sure. He was governor of Victoria for a good while.
Landy?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
He was governor of Victoria. He was into a lot of other...
Passed in 22.
Oh, did he? Okay. We passed in 2022. Gee, what a man. What a sportsman.
That's a good...
There's a lot of...
92.
Yeah. Not a bad knock.
Good dig.
Great man.
Well played.
Hello, Gay.
Hi, guys. Mine's an Olympic one as well. The 2000 Olympics where Brett Aiken, my nephew, and Scott McGrory won the Madison. Now, their backs were to the wall because just before that Olympic Games, Brett and his wife's toddler daughter was diagnosed with a severe life-limiting disability, and Scott McGrory lost his infant son to a heart condition 3 weeks before.
Oh, my God.
They'd never been, they'd never actually raced together in the Madison, which is all teamwork, and they were thrown together at the last minute and they won gold.
Oh, my goodness, I remember that.
And
thanks for sharing
emotions,
that, Gay.
actually, you
actually,
sort of
he'd be a very good Where Are They Now?
Yeah.
Wouldn't he?
That's a great guy.
Is she still there?
That's awesome.
Is Gay still there? I was going to get... see where Brett's at.
Yeah, I think Gay's still there.
Gay, you still there?
Yeah,
do you know where's Brett at? Is he overseas or here?
He works for Sassy. So he's one of the posters of the South Australian Institute.
Oh, he'd be a great chat. We're going to get hold of him, Gay.
Well,
Thanks
local.
for that.
That's good. Excellent. Yeah,
Excellent
thanks for that.
That was a magnificent win. You got any text there, Timmy?
I have
Unique
a couple
home-style
up here for you,
food text.
Yep,
Yes.
you go, Tim.
No, I was just trying to look for one that was actually about a great comeback.
While you look for one, I've got a couple here. So Darren says, if we can count the entire season, Brisbane's premiership was against the Wall last year. That was a brilliant fight back from them during the season. Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson after Mike Tyson took Buster Douglas at 100-1.
Yeah, it was a big upset.
Was that a big upset?
They reckon Mike didn't really.
There might have been.
He was on the. He didn't train hard.
But there might have been money might have changed hands.
Oh,
in that
don't
one.
say that.
That's got a bit of the
Okay.
Don Kings about it.
And this one from Sean says,
The old
guys,
glue sniffer.
late 80s pre-season game. Glenelg were down by 59 points at three-quarter time and kicked 10 goals in the last quarter.
Yeah,
that's a fight back.
That was a Foundation Cup game, I reckon. And I reckon somebody in another topic brought it up, and we went online and watched it. And they came back and won. That was incredible.
3 minutes to 5 news is coming up. And Ken Hinkley ahead of Thursday night football here at Adelaide Oval.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
The BMW Expo sales event is ending soon. Don't miss your chance to enjoy savings equal to the GST on new BMW vehicles. Visit your participating BMW dealer today. bmw.com.au.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
If you've ever wondered what the extra stands for in Physio Extra, that's easy.
Extra everything. Extra time with every appointment.
Extra care with a genuine hands-on approach to healing.
Extra expertise. Extra treatment options.
Extra appointments with same-day treatments available. Extra convenient because we have 6 Physio Extra locations around Adelaide. That's right, 6.
It's the extra in Physio Extra that makes all the difference. Visit physioextra.com for your nearest location or call for a same-day appointment.
Get the garden you want at Garden Grove. At Garden Grove, there's indoor plants and pots, general hardware and a great range of paving for that backyard renovation. Want some winter warmth too? You'll find loads of split and season firewood right here at Garden Grove. Golden Grove Road, Golden Grove.
Garden Grove, that's the garden. Garden Grove, that's the garden. Garden Grove, the garden that I
Phone
want.
8251 1111 for delivery to all areas. Open 7 days.
So you've been volunteered to organise the office party again. Yep, Christmas in July at FIVEAA is a mid-year party that you need. Now, it's happening Friday, July 5th. It's one night only at the stunning FIVEAA Park on Suites in Modbury.
I've had a couple of weddings here. This place is elite. FIVEAA will put on a festive 3-course meal, massive 5-hour drink package and live music from the Incredibles, one of Adelaide's best party bands. And after that, the DJ keeps the dance floor going all night. It's just $110 per person, which honestly, how much of a party can you get for that? That is unbeatable.
Absolutely. Round up the work crew, grab your friends, book a table before it sells out. Christmas in July at FIVEAA, July 5th. Now, you live music, dinner, drinks, and no awkward team bonding games. Just a great night out. Head to saferas.com to book.
Shop big Black Dot clearance at Cheapest Chips.
Cheapest Chips.
With an extra 30% off all Black Dot clearance products. Plus, score a voucher with our Spend and Save promotion. Become a member, start earning points, and live cheaper with Cheapest Chips.
Don't you just hate it when your joint pain slows you down? For the relief of pain and other symptoms associated with mild arthritis and inflammation, try Arbor Vitae. Like Glenn.
Prior to using Arbor Vitae Joint Health, the pain level in both knees, both hips, my lower back, upper chest and fingers was in the high 8s and 9s out of 10. Now, by taking approximately 30 ml of Arbor Vitae Joint Health each morning, my level of pain would be no higher than 2 out of 10. What a difference. My life has completely changed for the better.
Wow, that's wonderful.
I'm not one who normally recommends natural health supplements. However, Arbor Vitae Joint Health is a wonder that's given me, at 78 years old, a completely new lease of life.
Just like Glenn, Arbor Vitae could have a positive effect on your life too. Arbor Vitae is available now at all major chemists and health food stores. Arbor Vitae, it's wellness backed by science. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Down to 8 tonight, cloudy tomorrow 15. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
Get a 3K cash card on selected models during Agostino Mitsubishi's end of financial year sale.
A police officer has been arrested and charged by SAPOL's anti-corruption section. The officer is from the Force's Western District. They're facing 4 counts: abuse of public office, aggravated stalking and aggravated assault, and will front court in September. Long-awaited e-scooter regulations will come into force next month. From July 13th, they can be legally ridden on the roads and footpaths, providing you're over 16 and wear a helmet and use a flashing light at night. There'll be speed limits of 25 k's an hour on roads and 10 k's on footpaths. Charles Mountain from the RAA has welcomed the regulations.
Overall, we're positive, but I think, like all these things, it will take some time, for the community to fully understand the laws and the conditions around the safe operation of these devices, and also to inform other members of the community about their presence as well.
In Victoria, jurors in the Mushroom murder trial will return home over the weekend before being sent out to deliberate on Monday after the end of the judge's final instructions. Penelope Lersch has more.
Once the jurors begin their deliberations, they will be sequestered, staying in accommodation after hours, with the judge telling the group this morning he's expecting to finish his final directions, known as the charge, on Monday morning. Throughout today's instructions, the jury has been taken to elements of the police case regarding Erin Patterson's actions following the lunch at her home. The prosecution allege her actions are incriminating conduct, accusing the mother of 2 of lying about being unwell and refusing treatment at Leongatha Hospital before leaving against medical advice on her first presentation. The judge told the jury the defence say she had not come prepared to be admitted to hospital overnight, that she needed to make arrangements for her children and was intending to return.
The federal government has brushed off concerns its decision to not increase defence spending would hinder Australia's relationship with the US. NATO nations have agreed to Donald Trump's request to fork out 5% of their GDP on military needs, while Australia has held firm at 2.3%. There'll be increased pedestrian and vehicle traffic around the entertainment centre tonight. SAPOL is asking motorists to be careful as Katy Perry plays the first of 4 concerts. We can expect to hear all the big hits, including her Australian chart topper, Roar. Turning to 5AA sport.
The Lions versus Australia and New Zealand Invitational 15. World-class rugby at Adelaide Oval. Tickets at Ticketek.
Port need to get back on the winners list tonight when they face Carlton at home. Gates open in half an hour. The game starts at 7. The Crows are back from the bye this weekend. They head east to play Richmond at the MCG on Sunday. The squad will be announced later this hour. A boost for the club today with Dan Curtin signing a 3-year contract extension. Coach Matthew Nix says he's a popular player at Westlakes.
I know there was a really good reaction this morning from the playing group when we announced it to them, and probably an even better one from his coach when he announced it to me. He's obviously still got a long way and a lot to work on, and hopefully it's a long career ahead of him with the Adelaide Footy Club.
The Matildas are in action tonight against Slovenia in Perth, the first game in charge for new coach Joe Montemuro. And in basketball, the Dallas Mavericks have selected Cooper Flagg with the first overall pick in the NBA draft. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
At Old Nollunga, a crash causing big delays. Main South Road near the Onkaparinga River. Heavy delays back to and including the Southern Expressway. North Adelaide Road closures in place around the Adelaide Oval till around 11 tonight for the Power Carlton game. And Kerry Gully breakdown on the freeway at Old Kerry Gully Road to look out for. Cameras Main North Road, Mawson Lakes and Marlborough Streets at Fulham Gardens. South Australia, RAA Rewards is here. With hundreds of ways to save every day, it's better to be a member with RAA Rewards. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 8 tonight, cloudy for your Friday, 15. Saturday, partly cloudy and 16. Sunday, a shower or 2, also 15. Right now, it's 13 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, why Donald Trump was called a daddy by the NATO chief at The Hague. The world-first lung cancer screening program targeting smokers. How doctors hope it'll save lives. New direct flights between Adelaide and Bali take off. And how to avoid getting stung at tax time amid a claim crackdown. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey.
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival. 6 after 5, the build-up to Thursday night football here on 5AA, Port Adelaide and Carlton. It is a huge match. It's just about 2 hours away. Very shortly, the coach of Port Adelaide, Ken Hinkley, to join us. Coming up on the show, we have Carlton assistant Ash Hansen as well to speak with us at 5:30. And we're going to speak to Nathan Van Berlo from the Crows as their team selection drops at 5:50 this evening. And we're taking your calls too. 8223 0000 for a $50 Powers voucher. Those backs against the wall victories, so many coming through. We'll get more of those on the air very shortly. And you can watch us on the Ranella Hyundai live stream. We're on Facebook and YouTube here live from the commentary box of Adelaide Oval. But right now, thanks to Sharman Shelving, who have moved their showroom next door to the big white building. They're still at 412 North East Road.
Port Adelaide take on Carlton here tonight at the Adelaide Oval. That's why we're here, Stephen. Exactly.
It's going to be a cracker.
Unbelievable Thursday night. Perfect conditions. No breeze whatsoever. Looks like track fast and hopefully game good. Let's go to the coach, Ken Hinkley. Thanks for your time, Ken.
Good afternoon, boys.
Hey, Ken, during the week we spoke to Sam Powell-Pepper and I asked him the question. I said, who's responsible for getting yourselves ready and up for the start of a game? Now, I got the answer I wanted, the players. How have you seen them addressing it when they don't do it?
Oh, I think that the challenge for any playing group, Timmy, is every week demands you're ready for the start of the game, and sometimes it can be a bit quieter, sometimes it can be a bit noisier. But I think the reality is it's your behaviour, your action, and that's what you can control, your energy. And I think that's what the boys need to do is to, they try to do that most weeks. I think almost every week they try to do it. It's just whether they execute it at the level. Now we ran into Sydney last week, and clearly they were sharper at the start, and we weren't. We need to be better than that.
The ball movement, I think, because of that pressure and the way I think we started, we didn't move it anywhere near as well as we did the week before against Melbourne. That was almost a highlight reel, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, if you could, like I said, the 2 weeks previous, we were moving the ball well. We were playing with real power and real pressure. And then last week, to Sydney's credit, they came at us really hard, and we didn't respond and we didn't handle it as well as we need to. We can't make that up. I can't disguise that. That was just what happened, and they were able to take our offensive game off us with their pressure, which is typical Sydney. But that's the style of football that they have often brought. This year they have been a little bit off that themselves, but they were certainly back at their best this week, and we didn't handle it as well as we need to. We get another chance tonight to rectify that.
One thing Carlton can do is start fast. They're actually pretty good at that. They have been fading in games and getting run over. But was that highlighted this week that we have to be on and ready because these guys can start fast?
Yeah, we have to be on and ready regardless of the opposition. But ultimately, Carlton have got a great record this year at their first quarters, and they're a contested ball team. They're a strong team over the footy, so they win. They get the territory battle on their terms a little bit. So right from the very start, if we're not ready, ideally we're leading at quarter time, but if we're nice and close and we're in the game at quarter time, that'll be a great starting point for us. But hopefully we're 3 or 4 goals up, and it's going much better than that. But they're a fast starting side. This game is so challenging. We hadn't won a last quarter until the bye, and we won our next 2 last quarters after that. So there's always changes, and there's always things that happen in a game that are different, and you can only get to rectify whether you're a fast or slow starter, whether you're right at the start with your pressure or you're not, by each time you go out.
What are you confident you'll get tonight, Ken? I generally think coaches say, I demand that we do these 1, 2 or 3 things. Have you put that on them, or what are you confident you'll get?
No, Stephen, we know we know each week what our expectations are of ourselves, and the demands are not necessarily coming from me, the head coach. The demands come from the group themselves and us as a coaching group. So we're in it together. So we expect, and we've always expected, if we've got good pressure on the ball and we're getting after the opposition, that then lends itself to play into our offensive game. So ultimately we need, like every team does at this level, if you've got your pressure right up, you've got your hunt right up on the opposition, you give yourself the best chance to play well. Now, we expect and want that every week. As I said last week, we weren't ready for that. So this week we've got to make sure that we don't take any chances, and we are ready.
Yeah, that's it. So the thing for me watching this year is I still think your best is very, very good. And you've seen it. We've seen it. The last couple of weeks there were glimpses of that other than last week. It's just your gap to your worst has grown wider. And that's very, I've called it on air, un-Ken Hinkley-like coaching team. That gap is now wider. Do you know the why to that?
Oh yeah, I think everyone knows. When you're getting beaten badly, like we have at times in games, and it's been the back end of games when we've been beaten off and pushed down, we've tended to keep going a bit too quick. And that, you're right, that's not the way we've ever played, and it's not something that we like to display. But we need to make sure that the back half of the year, that we've got ourselves in gear and that we're prepared to play right to the very end of the game, regardless. And I said this only yesterday, we've got to play to the end of the game, to the end of the season, whenever that may be, in the right manner. That doesn't mean that it's going to be perfect for the remainder of the season. It just means there's potentially up and downs in that, but we just don't want the massive drop-offs. And that is one thing that we don't like. And we certainly, understand why everyone else wouldn't like it.
Ken, while we don't have a Lukosius or a Todd Marshall available, I've liked the fact we've played dual rucks and given that a go. My only thing now is I think they both have to hit that scoreboard to warrant it. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right, Tim. I think they've got to. When if they're going to play a role in the front half, they've got to be there as a big contested body who gives us a target to kick to when we are held up. Because it doesn't matter what you think in this game, you're always going to get held up at different times. To have a bigger body there to help Mitch. I mean, Mitch is not a huge, tall forward by any stretch, but he's done an outstanding job this year himself. And the rest of our forwards are, medium small. So to have the bigger body there, whilst we've been, we've tried Lordy, and Lordy's been up and down a little bit himself. We've tried Jeremy, who hasn't been able to get it done. So we've for the last 3 weeks, we've landed with the 2 rucks. We get Luco back in the sample this week. I'm pretty excited about the opportunity that he may be able to provide us with when he gets through a game or two and getting back into the side. But you're right about the two rucks. You just can't be. And I've always said, rucks have got to be more than just rucks if they're going to have 2 in the side, because otherwise you might as well just have another runner.
Sava's form's been excellent. Does he go to McGovern tonight? I love the job he did on Melksham a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, no, look, he'll be. He's been in as good a form as any of our tall backs, and look, I think his starting point will be Charlie. I would imagine, and depending on where Charlie is, but he's a good matchup. He's an explosive player like Charlie. He's got real power. He's in really good form. He's really confident. Him and Aaliyah back together certainly helps. And Thatch, they'll mix and match a little bit when they need to, but having the 3 of them allows us a little bit of flexibility to make sure we've got the right matchups more often than not.
We got a text in. I promised Pat I'd ask you. Said that Miles Bergman was added to the leadership group. Is that a good sign?
Was that a good sign? Miles has been sitting in the leadership group all year, so it's not necessarily a good or a bad sign. I think that the answer to that is will come in the fullness of time from Miles. And all you can do as a footy club, and I see this, the way they behave and the way they act every day they're at the footy club. Miles loves being a part of the club and everything else, but he's got a decision to make, and certainly he's right to make those decisions. And you'd be optimistic because of those reasons that he's taken a bigger step in the leadership of the club. He's playing a bigger role within the club. I think he's pretty happy with his footy at this point in time, albeit he'd love us to be winning more games of footy.
Kenny, how are you? You still loving the job?
Yeah, Stephen. Yep, yeah, I do. I think the job, gets me excited still to turn up and work and do what I want to do. Look, I'm lucky that, yes, this season isn't quite going exactly the way we'd have liked it to go for wins and losses just now, but I'm not the sort of person who ever rolls over and concedes. I just go, you know what, turn back up and do your job and make sure you give these boys as much help as you can and get ourselves a chance to get on a good little winning roll. A couple of weeks ago, in the last 2 weeks, I thought, gee, we're starting to turn this around again and we're okay. We caught Sydney and they got us good. Let's hope that we can get 3 out of 4 tonight, and that builds everyone's energy, not just the coach's energy or anyone else of the footy. It just helps everyone be positive.
You might only have 9 weeks to go as a coach. I hope you don't. I'm not saying, but you got 9 weeks to go. You're human, Kenny. Yeah, I know you're stoic and all those things and stubborn and a fighter, but you might only have 9 weeks to go as a coach. Do you look at that? You think about that? Does it enter your thoughts?
Nah, not so much, Rowey. I mean, I can be really honest about that. Look, whatever the number is out of our control in some ways. We can win games of football and whatever. But I've known from the start of the season when there was 23 rounds plus whatever, that there was a countdown clock on for me as coaching Port Adelaide Football Club. I've been really, really happy that that's the decision the club's made, that we actually got some clear air on that. So it's not affected anyone or me in particular around how I go about it. I don't actually sit here right now and worry about when the end is. I sit here right now and just get excited about every opportunity to be a part of it for as long as I possibly can. And I've been so grateful that this footy club's looked after me for such a long period of time. My obligation now is to go right to the line with all the energy I can possibly go with.
Yeah, but it takes its toll, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. Seriously, it doesn't take its toll, Stephen.
You're not that stoic. You're not that stoic.
Stephen, listen to me. You're asking me the question. I'm telling you, it doesn't take its toll on me. I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm actually very, I'm full of energy and I'm very, very happy.
You, Kenny.
You can be worried, but I'm trying to tell you to stop worrying, mate. I'm okay.
All right. I know. Fair cool.
Hey, Ken, back to the game. Ollie's out, and I think Ollie Wines he's had a pretty good year, and I've been really pleased with his grunt work that he's been able to do. He's out again. Connor went in and did more midfield time. Will he do that again tonight?
Look, he'll probably spend time in there, boys. But the reality is, Timmy, I think we prefer Connor at the moment at halfback if that's doable for us. But we have got, we have got a missing piece, and we need to mix and match with what we need to. I think you'll see a bit more Pep again around the ball this week, which is a bigger body. He's more Ollie type replacement than Connor.
Yeah. Great news. Because I think the last couple of weeks we haven't won contested possession, and that's something we probably need to reverse, so that's a good one. Hey, Jason Horne-Francis and Miles Bergman both had those stingers in the shoulders. Would they be better for this week?
Yeah, they'll definitely be better for the week. There's no doubt about that. Doesn't mean, football this time of the year, round 16, is it? 15, 16 we're up to. It doesn't mean anyone goes out there feeling absolutely perfect at this stage of the year, but they're in good shape and they're more than ready to play a game of football. And hopefully both boys play really big games of football, because I know if they do, we're much closer to a win than a loss.
Yeah, true.
You've been around footy your whole life, Kenny. Our topic today was backs against the wall victories. You got a favourite one that just jumps in your head?
Oh, I don't know about no, not off the top of my head. I think there's been some. I've been lucky at Port. There's been some great wins. I do remember a game. I reckon Rowey. It was a final at Fremantle. I reckon it wasn't so much backs to the wall type victory. 13. Half time we were down by a margin, I reckon, and the boys. This footy team that I've been involved with for 13 years, we've had some remarkable come from behind victories that are. No one thinks you can possibly get there, but they've been some of my most special moments when you think about. Not so much backs to the walls, but wins against all odds at different times.
We all love a fighter. Kenny, have a good one tonight. Thanks for your time.
Good on you, boys. Love talking to you.
Cheers, Kenny. Take it quarter by quarter, contest by contest, week by week. Just eat the elephant slowly but surely. Build some confidence and momentum, and you don't know where it takes you. Well, Ken Hinkley, our guest.
I reckon they'll have a really good game tonight. I want to see a Ken Hinkley trademark game. And we all know what that looks like,
I'm not lying. You cannot get better in June.
This
Thursday night. Those flags haven't moved.
No.
It is. They're as still as the Russell Ebert statue out in the east there. That is unreal.
It's going to be a cracker, mate.
Oh, mate, conditions
The start.
Please.
And I'm going to be tuned into 5AA.
Choke, full out.
Choke, full out. Foot full to the throttle. I love Sam Powell-Pepper. We had him on this week.
And he wanted to.
I said, Sam, are you going to be in the midfield? I need you to go and ask Ken. No, that's not up to me to ask Ken. Please ask Ken, can you go in the midfield more?
He's got it.
Oh, God.
He might start.
Bang!
It's a big one. Port Adelaide's only home Thursday night primetime game scheduled in the home and away season, so I want to put on a show. All thanks to Sharman Shelving. They've moved their showroom next door to the big white building, still at 412 North East Road. We'll check your traffic. More to your calls next.
Big delays at Old Noongar with a smash on Main South Road near the Onkaparinga River. Delays back to and impacting the Southern Expressway. North Adelaide Road closures in place around the Adelaide Oval for the footy tonight. And Kerry Gully breakdown getting cleared away on the freeway near Old Kerry Gully Road. Carra's Lockside Drive, West Lakes and Port Road to Queenstown. The IKEA sale is now on. Enjoy up to 60% off hundreds of products until the 21st of July. Better head to ikea.com.au before everyone finds out. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
James Blunt is returning for his 2025 Australian Back to Bedlam Tour. After a sold-out national tour in 2024, James Blunt returns to AEC Arena on Tuesday the 28th of October for one incredible night. Want to be there? Keep it on 5AA for your chance to win tickets or grab yours now at destroyalllines.com. James Blunt, Back to Bedlam 2025 Australian Tour, proudly presented by 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Ignition for Men. Adelaide's home of impeccable class and style offer a range of suits by leading Italian brands, including tailor-made wedding packages for the groom and groomsmen. Order 3 tailor-made suits and pay just $799 for each. Order 4 or more for just $749 per suit. Phenomenal value for a quality tailor-made suit. See Ignition for Men for tailor-made wedding packages. 54 Paynham Road, Stepney. ignitionformen.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Thinking of painting and don't know where to start?
We do, because we know paint at Crowey's.
So, visit Crowey's. And while you're there, join Crowey's Club to get 10% off everything.
We know paint at Crowey's.
Aussies love the ocean, sound of crashing waves, the sight of storms over the water. That's what life's all about. I'll tell you what, Ocean Bar and Kitchen, that's what they're all about. Enjoying delicious dishes and unbeatable views of Henley Beach. It's unbelievable. Enjoy the sights, the sounds and the feel of the ocean, plus a taste of the mouth-watering menu of pasta and seafood. Now, make sure you look up the weekday specials like this one. Pasta aplenty. It's on Wednesdays, Rowey. Get on there.
This is a cracker, this one. Not only that, the countdown is on. The Lexus Melbourne Cup Tour is, well, it's making its way to the Ocean Bar and Kitchen this Saturday. So secure your ticket now for an unforgettable day filled with stunning views, premium wines, brews, canopies, and the glamour of the most iconic trophy in racing history. You can even grab it. Limited spots available. Please secure yours this Saturday. Don't miss out.
It'll be sensational being able to hold the Melbourne Cup. Have a photo. Ocean Bar and Kitchen. It's located on the top of Henley Surf Life Saving Club. Open 11:30am till late.
You wake up and you're feeling a bit off. Your nose is runny, but maybe it's just a cold. That scratchy throat, though, that could be something worse.
Test for COVID, Flu A, Flu B and RSV in just minutes with Cell Life, the premium 4-in-1 rapid antigen test. Fast, reliable results. Make the smart choice for your health and your family. Insist on the brand the healthcare professionals prefer. Cell Life at leading chemists and Amazon. CELLIFE.
It's the sale of the year at Derringer's Music. Starting out, getting back into it, or a seasoned pro. Derringer's end of financial year sale is a chart topper. You'll save store-wide on all things Yamaha. Guitars, electric drums, keyboards, amps, PAs, DJ gear, lighting and all the accessories you'll ever need. And if it's not discounted, just ask for a deal. Derringer's end of financial year sale on now. Derringer's and Yamaha, your local support act. derringers.com.au.
Finding the perfect Volkswagen is easy at Mawson Lakes Volkswagen. Even easier during their end of financial year sale. Choose from a massive range of new and demo Volkswagens available for delivery right now. Loads of colours, loads of options. On-site finance and next-day servicing. How easy is that? Too easy. Get a great drive-away deal during the end of financial year clearance. Ends June 30. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Depending on how he warms up and works through our sort of pre-training, whether he gets himself up and going. Again, it's another one where PED's longer term is going to be a really important one for us, and if it is that he needs to miss one, possibly, to limit risk of missing 4, then we will make that decision.
Nathan Van Berlo will join us on the show when team selection for Adelaide drops at 5:50, so less than half an hour away, Crows fans, from that. Taking your calls away very shortly, and gates are open in, 5 minutes' time here at Adelaide Oval. The lights are already on. It's pretty dark out there, and the Carlton players are starting to do some light warm-ups, so all in readiness for Thursday night football.
Looking forward to it. We've been taking your calls on, just backs to the wall moments, and you've been able to get up and win. So
from nowhere, from the clouds.
From the clouds, so unexpected. Let's go to Two Wells. G'day, Ange.
G'day, boys. How are you?
Excellent.
It would have was it 94, Timmy, against the Eagles? We were 6 goals down, and you went for that Academy Award in the forward pocket, and you kicked a goal, went up and smashed them. Was it 94?
Ange, I was brutally attacked. Thank you very much. Couldn't believe it. They were coming from everywhere. Yeah, it was. I got a couple of coconuts out of that.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
And also, I've got another one. Grand final. Was it prelim final against Norwood where Scotty Hodges took the mark in his box at 40.
Oh, shut up, Ange.
That's almost Bradbury-like now.
Oh, that is. I love Scotty, and no one else could have kicked that kick or done what he did in that game, and he's done it many a time. But
classic.
God, it's starting to wear thin, bit like Bradbury.
Yeah.
There's going to be 2 people banned: Scotty Hodges 96 prelim and bloody Bradbury.
Great call. Let's go to Steve.
G'day, guys. How you going?
All right, Steve. You got a backs to the wall.
I've got a backs against the wall that lasted 12 years. Does you guys have any idea what that might be?
Oh, did they win 9 out of 12?
They did win 9 out of 12. They couldn't get in them, and when they did get in them in 95, 96, your mob, Timmy,
get out of them.
Sorted us out, and then we couldn't get out of them, the good old Central District Footy Club. So I think that's a great effort. 12 grannies in a row to win 9, so...
Steve, I reckon the hardest is the first one, that 2000 one. That's the hardest one to win, isn't it? Break the ice.
Jonah,
yeah, absolutely.
Coach?
Jonah was coach.
Yeah, it is hard, but it's even harder to stay in them and keep up for that long. I don't know if it's ever been done before. I don't know if it's ever been done before, but I'm pretty sure it'll be pretty hard to do again. So,
yeah.
Well, it was a mighty era. Everything was in place. The behind the scenes, their executive, their board, their leadership, their coach, Rory Laird. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
That was an unbelievable era.
Roy.
Legend. I always say Rory. Legend. I mean, honestly. And they were such an unassuming club. Just what would you call it?
He's
a blue collar. And their game style wasn't anything spectacular.
You knew what they were going to do. They could just do it well.
Did it harder for longer.
Yeah, spot on. Hey, got a great, unique home-style food text here, Stephen. I think you're going to like it. This is back to the wall stuff. It really is. It's from Ben at Seaview Downs, and Ben says, look, g'day, lads. Several years back, cricket was washed out on a Saturday, and we had a pub day, as you do. We had a real big win on the punt and continued into town until nearly sunrise. I arrived home where the missus reminded me, in no uncertain terms, her parents were coming for lunch. I had a 2-hour nap, a cold shower, mowed the lawns, washed the outdoor setting, had the Weber going before they got there, and real backs against the wall stuff.
Yes.
Ben, standing ovation at Adelaide Oval.
That is a $50 Powers voucher, and as good a $50 Powers voucher as Benny will ever spend.
Yeah, just don't stay up till sunrise.
We've all been there. And your wife's nagging you. Can you squirt the outdoor sitting down? And you feel like just giving her a crusty, but you can't. Because you know it was self-inflicted.
Self-inflicted.
And self-inflicted wounds are the worst wounds, Timmy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that first drink would have tasted good after all that hard work. It is 5:30 headlines time. Ash Hansen, the senior assistant of Carlton ahead of tonight's game, will join us next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Sophia's Law in simple language. We are joined by James Marcus, a criminal barrister at Len King Chambers.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
I do encourage people to actually read the judgment in that case, Queen and Campbell from 2022, where Judge Muscat explains why this offending was airless, not dangerous.
We didn't buy it. I read it, made me want to throw up.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
The way the law operated in that case was appalling, and it was changed.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good evening. Mel Usher with the 5AA News headlines. A serving SA police officer has been suspended after being charged by the anti-corruption section. Long-awaited e-scooter regulations will come into force next month. The federal government has brushed off concerns its decision to not increase defence spending will hinder Australia's relationship with the United States. And in sport, the gates have just opened at Adelaide Oval ahead of the Port Carlton clash tonight. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Got a couple of dramas on the Southern Expressway at the moment. Got a crash near Beach Road at Morphevale, heading outbound, monster delays there. And we've also got a crash Main South Road near the Onkaparinga River. So the Southern Expressway schmozzle tonight, avoided at all costs. North Adelaide, not quite so schmozzly, but still got some road closures around the Adelaide Oval for the footy. That's through till about 11. And got a camera at Port Road at Queenstown. Absolutely everything is on sale at Freedom. Get up to 40% off store-wide, plus get a further 10% off and get free delivery. Sale must end Monday, only at Freedom. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, cloudy tonight down to 8, cloudy tomorrow 15. Right now it's 13 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Adelaide, can you hear the roar? The British and Irish Lions are coming in a one-night-only event this July. 6 nations will clash in the heart of Adelaide at the iconic Adelaide Oval. Witness the pinnacle of international rugby when the best of England, Ireland, Wales and Scotland join forces to take on a combined Australia and New Zealand juggernaut. One tour, one chance. Don't miss out. Secure your tickets now at Ticketek.
Hi, Pretty here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. With all the end of financial year deals we've got going, you really should be here too. All makes, models and colours are being cleared, no exceptions. And there's a huge range of low-K demos, all ready for immediate delivery. Plus, you'll get free on-roads, free stamp duty, free 12-month rego and $500 worth of accessories. No gimmicks, just great deals. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, T's and C's apply.
Health and wellbeing looks different to everyone, which is why Health Partners is more than just your health partner. And thanks to Health Partners, I caught up with Port Adelaide's Matilda Scholes to talk about how staying active helps her keep a positive mindset. Whether it's a quick stretch or a walk around the block, Matilda believes it's the little things that help her feel balanced and mentally strong. Looking after your health and wellbeing is better with a partner. Health Partners, health insurance made human.
When your youngest finishes school and pick up and drop off become a distant memory. When the neighbours no longer have loud music to complain about. When you wake up and fall asleep to the sound of silence because the kids have flown the nest. If only. It happens sooner. Semi-retirement, disposable income and infinite time to spend it. You're a super consumer. If you run a business that'd like to reach the consumer we call the trifecta, speak to us here at 5AA.
When you're gone, who gets the things most precious to you? Like your grandfather's war medals or your mother's cherished piano that was passed down to you. If you don't have a will, you'll never know. Donlan Lawyers specialise in wills and estate planning. From the simplest to the most complex, Donlan Lawyers will give effect to your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com, Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour. donlanlawyers.com.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
26 minutes to 6, the build-up to Thursday night football. We're an hour and a half out from the opening bounce and gates are open, so the fans are coming in as the players start to do some warm-ups out there in the middle of Adelaide Oval. 8223 0000 if you want to get your calls to air. Backs against the wall victories. We'll take more of them very shortly. And Nathan Van Berlo as the Crows teams will drop at 5:50.
If you're a Carlton fan, well, there's plenty to play out in 2025, and the best way to be a part of it is by becoming a Carlton member. Visit membership.carltonfc.com.au and become a member today for as little as $70. Carlton taking on Port Adelaide tonight, Adelaide Oval, and we've got their senior assistant coach on the line, Ash Hansen. Ashley, welcome.
Nice to be with you.
How did you go with the preparation of trying to find out which Port Adelaide is going to turn up tonight? Because I know as a Port man, it is difficult.
No, well, you always plan for a team's best, and certainly watching some of the vision and the planning, there are many threats there, and we know that they're good enough. Their best is very much good enough, so we're certainly preparing for their best.
Well, I saw it against Melbourne, and I saw some of the transition. I thought, that's highlight reel stuff. I'm going to keep that for, forevermore. Then I watched last week and thought, hey, that is just a mess. Now, what is the dangers of Port Adelaide when they are at their best?
Certainly, their ability to be strong in the contest is pretty good. They do get the ball from the inside to the out and have that capacity, and then certainly the speed they can put on the ball. Obviously don't have the aerial threats probably historically attached to the footy club at the moment. So their ability, to find that overlap run and change angles and use the open side of the ground is very strong and will challenge any defence. So, they want speed on that ball, and clearly they look to put a lot of pressure on and turn it over in the front half. So, they've got strengths that have won them games this year against really good opponents. So we're certainly going to respect those strengths, and we have done our planning.
It's exciting when you get some debutantes. You got two tonight. Tell us about them.
Yeah, two great energy givers, really. Two different pathways. Billy Wilson's had to, really commit to the development side of the program and build his game from the VFL, and now he gets his opportunity, tonight to provide the overlap and run of the back half, which he's demonstrated over consecutive weeks in the VFL, which is really exciting. And Flynn Young, a very different pathway. Probably a month ago he was with Werribee playing state footy with his mates, and now he's going to be playing an AFL game, which he obviously already dreamt of, but is a really classy ball user in the front half. So we're hoping that his impact, ball in hand, either delivering it to a teammate inside forward 50 or converting on goal, will really shine through. And he's got some pretty good speed and agility, which will help him put the pressure on, which is so important, for our defensive actions to take place. So one at either end of the ground, youth and energy and excitement, which is always, pleasing for a coach to see being brought into the side.
Yeah. We've got a vested interest in the Camporeale twins. How far away is Ben?
Ben's been playing some really good footy in the VFL. He's certainly building his game after he suffered that ankle infection in the pre-season, where he had a great summer. He's building back to that inside mid role and been doing really well at VFL level. So certainly he's going to continue to build his game to be in the conversation at match committee, and then when an opportunity presents, we want those guys being ready so we can select them, because we want to continue to evolve and grow as a side, and bringing the youth in will be there. Lucas obviously had a taste at the start of the year, and is once again progressing well in the VFL for two first-year players.
Brilliant. Pakai's out, Walsh is out, Curno's, a little out of form, you'd say. Wiedering's sore, two debutants on the back of last week's loss. This will be one for the ages, Ash, if you can get over them tonight.
Absolutely. The 5-day turnarounds, the interstate travel certainly gives an opportunity for the team to galvanise and bond together. Youth brings with it, as I said before, great energy and excitement. And that's what we want to encourage the guys to play with a real commitment to playing team footy. We certainly know that we're good enough to win, and we believe we're going into tonight's match with a great opportunity to win on the road.
Speaking with Ashley Hansen, the Carlton Football Club Senior Assistant Coach. Ashley, with your forward set up, regardless of who's in there, the actual delivery inside 50 probably been a challenge, you would say, for the Blues.
Yeah, it's certainly been a work on for us this year. I guess our identity's kind of flipped a little bit this year to last year, where we we're really, really strong off turnover and had a really high inside 50 efficiency and probably were leaking too many scores that we would have liked. So we're relying on our scoring capacity to win games, where this year our defensive credibility has kept us in games, and we haven't lacked the polish that we probably would have thought would have carried over to this year. So, I mean, every team has a different part of their game they're working on. We're never the finished product, and through the qualifying rounds, that's what you're looking to do, so you can be the best version of yourself at the right time of the year. And certainly our focus, since the bye, has been around that front half game and how we can just move the needle a little bit more. We think we've made some really good progress in that area over the last 3 weeks, and it's another opportunity this week to do that, which will be important away from home, to silence the crowd and maximise our plays.
Well, Ashley, I hope you coach very well tonight, but I can't wish you all the best as far as the result goes, all right? But thank you very much for your time.
Hey, Ash, I can.
Thank you. Great chat to you guys.
Good on you. Ashley Hansen, Carlton Football Club Senior Assistant Coach, our guest. Big game tonight for both clubs.
God. This is a popcorn game. I know you think it is. This.
Yeah.
Either way is massive for both clubs.
All right, mate, don't choke on them.
All right. Ashley Hansen, our guest.
It is 20 minutes to 5. It's a great scene, though, here.
It is. We're live at Adelaide Oval. No breeze to speak of. Yes, it's overcast. Please rug up. No dew. It's going to be a cracking game. We'll get to... you've got your eyes on Cripper there, Timmy, I see, with your binoculars.
Yeah, he's been having some shots of goal. He's all right.
Northeast Road, Gillis Plains, northbound. A bad accident. Please avoid the area. Hope everyone's safe.
Yes, that is definitely worth noting. OK, we'll come back after we check your traffic. Nathan Van Berlo from the Adelaide Crows, and their team isn't too far away from dropping either at 19-6. Let's check those roads.
The Southern Expressway is 100% snafu tonight. It's due to a crash in Morphevale near Beach Road. Those delays are K's long. Then we have another collision at Old Nollunga at the end of the expressway. Delays also K's long there. Best advice tonight, avoid the Southern Expressway like the plague. Smash at Gillis Plains, Northeast Road near Sudholtz Road with massive delays, and a breakdown getting cleared up at Kerry Gully on the freeway near Old Kerry Gully Road. Camera tonight, Martins Road, Parafield Gardens. Ford's drive-away deals, Ranger XLT, model year 25.25 from 60k drive-away for ABN holders only. Recommended price at participating dealers. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
The Crows hold their destiny in their own hands as they prepare to take on the rest of the season. Fresh after a week off, Nixie's men are keen to go on with what they've started.
And they are scoring like an avalanche again.
Sunday Arvo on 5AA. The Crows return to the MCG to take on the Tigers.
Absolutely superb! AFL live on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Step back in time with the treasures of the Viking Age at the South Australian Museum. Featuring artefacts of the Galloway Hoard, the most remarkable collection of Viking Age objects ever unearthed in Britain or Ireland. A time capsule of gold, silver and treasures with unique heirlooms is revolutionising our understanding of medieval Europe. They are now being displayed for the first time ever outside of Britain. On now until the 27th of July. Book now at samuseum.sa.gov.au.
Steinborner Automotive in Gawler, Barossa and Clare has always been well worth the trip, especially with their end of financial year sale on over 500 new, used and demo cars, including a great range of new and demo Mitsubishi Tritons at heavily reduced prices. Plus, they're offering an additional $1,500 trade-in bonus on all trade-ins. Head to Steinborner Mitsubishi in Nuriutpa or view the whole range at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth the trip.
Here's something exciting. Introducing more rewards from Sip and Save. Now, if you're quick and join up now, you'll get $10 off when you spend $50 or more with Sip and Save. How easy is that? Along with the best deals, exclusive offers and much, much more. Now, this is ideal for weekend parties or maybe a midweek dinner. And either way, you're going to be saving money. So why wait? Visit sipandsave.com.au and join now. You'll get $10 off when you spend $50 or more.
Sip and Save, where rewards are more rewarding. What more could you want? That's sipandsave.com.au. T's and C's apply. Available at participating stores only. You better be quick. It's only available until Friday 27th, June 2025.
Investigative journalist Denham Hitchcock and award-winning journalist Amelia Brace are putting the truth first when they bring you 10 News Plus at 6. And it all starts Monday after 10 News at 5.
You really do have a shot at this. The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery is selling now. You could win the new $3 million Scott Salisbury Grand Prize home. With over 11,000 more prizes, you have a 1 in 15 chance of winning. Is it your turn for a life-changing win? Tickets selling now at homelottery.com.au. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. homelottery.com.au. Licence M14727.
It all started in the back shed. Maybe it started early. Or late. Either way, the Olympic Industry sale means there's no need to wait. With big savings on our entire range of SA-engineered sheds, garages, carports and verandas, you can afford to start something big, tough, or tasty in your own backyard. Start something with the Olympic Industry sale. On now.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
After scoring just 15 points from turnover against the Swans, discussion in match committee will no doubt be centred around returning skipper Connor Rowey to half-back and throwing Sam Powell-Pepper into the midfield mix. This will help combat the big bodies of Patrick Cripps, George Hewitt and Adam Chera. With their seasons on the line, it's going to be on from the first bounce. The Blues are the best first quarter team, so the question is, can Port stay in the fight?
Yes, it's going to be a big battle tonight. We are building up to Thursday night football here on 5AA. So it's a huge clash. Very shortly, Nathan Van Berlo will go through the Crows. But let's just paint a picture of what we're seeing at the moment. The gates have been open for about 15 minutes. The crowd slowly filtering in. Should be a big event this evening.
Can I just say Campo nailed that? We just had Ken Hinkley on, and everything he said, Ken is doing. Sam Powell-Pepper more midfield minutes. Yep. He wants to get Connor Rowey to the half-back. Yep. They're a fast-starting team. Bring the heat. What was the one thing that Ken Hinkley said he wanted from his team today?
Yeah, absolutely. Start well.
Pressure.
Yeah, got to have pressure because these guys can start well. They're the best first quarter team, as you just heard Campo say. So that's the worry if they get off the leash and Port aren't able to stop that. I reckon if they're anywhere within a goal at quarter time, they win the game.
Who's this?
Port Adelaide. If they're within a goal, either way.
Yep.
I reckon they win the game because they need to curb the fast-starting Blues who that's their weapon, and then, unfortunately, they haven't been able to sustain it.
Well, let's go to our next guest. I'm looking forward to this game as well, Timmy. If this one's a popcorn game, well, the one on Sunday is going to be a ripper. Crows take on the Tigers. It's at the MCG. It is Sunday. Joining us, midfield coach Nathan Van Berlo. VB, welcome.
G'day, guys. Thank you very much for having me.
Peatling's back?
Yes, we'll bring Peatling back into the side this week. He obviously missed through suspension, but he's an important part of our midfield mix, so we'll welcome him back this week.
Fantastic. And Lukey Pedler, how did that corky come up?
Yeah, no, Lukey's the one that will make way for James. He didn't get out to train fully tonight, so we're just going to give him a chance to recover, which is unfortunate for Luke. He was starting to string together a bit of continuity, but we've got to look after him because there's still a lot of footy to go.
Fair call. I'll get to Nick Murray, but B. Smith, he's been the sub for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Is he about due for a start in the 22?
Yeah, we've been wrapped with Brodie, I guess, all season, to be honest, with his form and attitude, and he's come in and played some important roles, whether that be sub or when he's had some full minutes for us. So he's won this week. We're really looking forward to getting some big minutes into and playing an important role out on the MCG for us.
Okay, which means probably Murph will be the sub. Nick Murray, talk us through that. 1 more week, a bit more cautious with him, with the big fella?
Yeah, look, Nick, he's very important to our side. Don't get us wrong. We're just really, I guess, playing the long game with Nick at the moment. We understand he had some troubles earlier in the year, and he's had a a fair stint in rehab now, getting himself back bigger and stronger, and he's feeling really confident in his body, but we just want to make sure that we're doing the right thing by him in making sure he gets himself at the level that he needs. And we also feel that the AFL mix with our backs and our defenders in particular have been playing some really strong footy. So while that's the case, we'll give Nick another week and see how he pulls up and hopefully performs.
Hey, Nathan, the bye. You never know what you're going to get afterwards, I reckon. You're not sure as a player whether you're going to start well or, nice and fresh and up and about, or maybe a bit sluggish. How have you seen the group training, and is there anything you can do to avoid the sluggishness?
Yeah, I guess it's the unknown question a bit, Timmy. I mean, a lot of teams can perform really well out of a break and others can struggle. And I mean, what we've tended to do over the last few years with Darren Burgess is we've often had a solid hit out on the weekend prior to, so about a week ago now, last Saturday, we had a solid hit out with the boys. We gave them a few days off straight after the Hawthorn game, which was their chance to just mentally switch off and physically refresh for a few days. And I guess since last Saturday, we've almost treated it as we would per an 8-day break. Obviously, having the Sunday twilight slot means we get the extra day up our sleeve compared to normal. So we've had a slower build, but again today we had our main session and the boys trained really well. And I think it's really important that we make sure we get in, some decent contest hits, as well as some run in their legs over the last week and a bit to make sure that they, I guess, keep their bodies conditioned to the demands of AFL footy.
Playing Richmond at the G, you get another look at where the grand final's played. I think every game you can get to play there is great. Probably the challenge is being able to sustain your intensity and keeping the discipline against the side that you might get on top of.
Oh, look, we're under no illusions that Richmond, if they're able to get their tails up and play their brand of footy, they're very hard to stop. And they've got a lot of talented, albeit some young kids in their team at the moment, but super talented. So, we want to make sure we first and foremost start the game well, and that will hopefully allow us to get the game on our terms, and then we can hopefully control the way that the game looks thereafter. But we're certainly expecting a bit of an arm wrestle, albeit hopefully shorter than what we'd like. But we'll just wait and see how it plays out. But we know that their form at the G has been solid this year. And while they haven't been getting the results from a win-loss point of view consistently, they've often been winning a lot of quarters. So we've got to be mindful of that and make sure that we try and snuff them out early, to be honest.
You've answered my next question. I was going to say the messaging's very important when you plan for a team. You do the forward scouting and you pick their good bits and then you pick their vulnerable bits. And I thought, what would the messaging be this week? Hey, fellas, they're absolutely crap. You should flog the gizzards out of them. Look at their numbers. They're useless, or every team's capable. And I think you've just answered that, VB. Every team's capable.
Well, they are, Rowey. Yeah, I mean, and you're actually not, you don't have to find stats to necessarily back that up, because you've watched some vision of them, and when they get their game on their terms, they're very hard to stop. And we just watched the midfield clips as a line before earlier this afternoon, and looking at some of their midfield mix with, obviously Toby Nankervis is a stalwart of their ruck division, and then you've got Prestia and Taranto and Hopper, who are very, very high quality AFL midfielders who run their backsides off and challenge you in different ways, and they're complemented pretty well by some youth around them with Traynor and Ralph Smith, etc. So we know, what their strengths are. They'll no doubt do their work on what our strengths are, but we're just making sure that we show them the respect that they deserve, because they are a very, very good team when they get the game on their terms.
When you get a pick 8, he's got talent, he's growing his form and definitely maturing. There's no question about that. I speak of Dan Curtin, and then he commits to your team. That's a great fillip for the squad, VB.
Oh, it is, Rowey. I got a phone call yesterday to confirm the news from Nixie, and I was pumped. I had to ring DC straight away and congratulate him. And he's just a quality kid who's only going to get better and better. And he would have had some strong pull to go home to Perth, and he's very tight with his family. But speaking to him, he just loves the environment and the mateship that he's got at the club, and really enjoying his footy. And I think, look back to the Hawthorn game. I mean, that first half was probably the best footy that he's played for us as a club to date. Right. He's only going to get better, as I said. So a really important signing for us, and I think it's a good sign when you get super young, talented, interstate boys like Dan committing to us for the longer term.
And Nathan, you look after the midfield, and I imagine early days, and you haven't had a big injury list at all, but Sam Berry was playing really good football in the SANFL. I was watching quite a few games, and he was just doing, everything he possibly could. How did you manage him? And you've got him to a stage now where he's in the side and he's really contributing well at AFL level. How did you manage him through that difficult period when, it just doesn't look like there's a spot for you?
Oh, it's hard, Timmy, and it's been a challenge across our squad this season so far, because we have had some continuity, and touch wood, we remain healthy as a list, but guys like Sam had an outstanding summer of pre-season, and I remember having a chat with him pre-season and saying, you're the best possible version of yourself to date that we've seen, and you're a better player than what you were 12 months ago. I just need you to stay patient, stay AFL ready, and keep putting the performances on the board, and your opportunity will come. And you say that 5, 6, 7 weeks in a row, and to Bez's credit, he kept his head up and his bum down and got to work and just kept performing. And then when his opportunity did come, when Crouchy went out of the side, albeit it was starting as a sub, and then he came in and played some 4 minutes, he's been able to hold his spot, and not only just do that, he's been able to perform some really important roles for us too. So it's hard. We've just got to keep guys, engaged and focused on what they can control, and often that's just playing and training at an AFL intensity until their opportunity presents. So
be ready.
One that deserved that chance, and hopefully he just continues to go onwards and upwards for the back end of the year.
Great position to be in. VB, again, another great opportunity and challenge on the MCG, a ground that I hope to call a 4th or a 5th game this year at that very stadium, mate. Have a ripper, and thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys. Good to chat.
Outstanding work. Okay, all thanks to Sterling Homes. Whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the goal square, you can customise your build with Sterling Homes. So for those who are just catching up, the Crows team it's a squad release for the weekend. Peatling's been included. Pedler has been left out with a cork. And Burgess, Zach Taylor and Chase Jones have also been chucked in the squad. 4:30 tomorrow, the Crows will chop that down.
Yeah, I think it'll be Peatling in, Ped's out. Sadly, that corky didn't come up. I reckon B. Smith will come into the 22, and it would mean Murphy will slide to the sub.
And no outs for Richmond at this stage. They've just added Blight, Lafau and Trezise to their squad. So once again, they might go in unchanged to the weekend. But as we work our way up to the 6 o'clock news, it's a massive night ahead, Thursday night football. Stay tuned, 5AA footy, Port Adelaide and Carlton. We're about an hour away from the opening bounce, and Ken Hinkley, the head coach, will join us next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.